Right guys, welcome back. So in the last video we switched the orientation around. We made the character not fall with gravity. We made it so the parallax scrolling went from top to bottom, and the hazards also spawned that way as well. So this video is quite simple, but probably the more difficult bit out of everything. We are going to add in the buttons for movement, and we are going to make the character, rather than move up, which is all it does at the minute, we're going to make it move left and right. So to start with, we'll go in and we'll add the buttons in. So this wants to be done in your canvas. So canvas, button. Obviously my button's just casually in the middle of the screen at the minute. So if we go up here and check this out, I'm just going to put them at the bottom of the screen. So let me just move that out of the way so I can grab the anchor. So I'm thinking from 0 to 0.1 and to 0.3. Let's see how that works. It would help if I had my number lock on. So that kind of works, but I probably want that button a little bit bigger. There we go, that'll work a lot better. So we'll duplicate that, and all we're switching here is this is going to be set to 0.6 and this is going to be set to 1. So now we've got two buttons. Just to make life easier, I'm going to go in and I'm just going to change the text. Obviously, if you're creating this, you might actually make some buttons with arrows on or whatever, but this is just me showing you guys. So, yeah, button 1, button 2. So, what we need to do now is we need to go into the player script. So we need to open up the helicopter controller. Right, so we've currently got this controlling the movement. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go right to the bottom, above the last curly brace, and I'm going to add a new function here. It's going to be a public void, and this is going to be set to move left. Set it up as we do functions. I am then going to take this section here. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm just going to take that bit there. And I'm going to put that in there. And we're then going to delete this bit out because we don't need that anymore. That was just checking to see if we were clicking, but we're not clicking anymore. We're pressing buttons. I'm going to copy this bit, and then in the same place I did before, above the last curly brace, I'm going to paste that in, and I'm going to change what it's called to move right. So this is a bit where we change things up a little bit, because now they're both should be SPD at the start and 0 at the end. And we're nearly there. Because the only thing we need to change now is if we leave it like this, when we press a button, they're both going to move right, regardless of what we've called them. So we need to change this one. So the way we're going to get this to change is we're just going to add a minus to the front of that, because then it's doing minus what we set the speed to. This is obviously plus, so if we set the speed to 4, it's going to move 4, which is right. If we press this one, it's going to move minus 4, which is obviously going to be left. So I'm going to save that, double check that everything's sorted there. There shouldn't be any errors with that. That's the error that loads up when I load up my game for some reason. There seems to be one thing missing from mine there, which is not an issue. So nothing's changed on here because it doesn't need to. We are now going to go to his buttons. So this is move left, obviously. On click, we're going to add the player to that. We're going to go to the controller, and we're going to say move left. And we can do exactly the same on the other one, except from, as you've probably guessed, we're going to change this to move right. Obviously my sprite kind of doesn't make sense because it's facing that way, which means moving left and right. You'd probably do it from a top down view if you wanted, but just for the sake of it, mine's kind of in there like that. So hopefully, if I go in now, When I press left, it goes left. When I press right, it goes right. So essentially what we've got here is we've got a game working with buttons. My example is probably not particularly relevant anymore because that sky parallax background looks awful. The helicopter's facing the wrong way. The animation doesn't work. However, that's because all of this was built for the other way around and we switched it up. So the only other thing I am going to change now, and this is just because of how mine's set up, I'm just going to change the settings on the score and high score at top because it doesn't really look very good anymore. So 0.8, no, 0.9 seems better for that. And the same for that. So 0.5, yep, to 0.5 to 0.9. So this should look a little bit better as well now. Yep, there we go. So clicking left goes left, clicking right goes right, obviously. And everything's set up to have that different orientation. So if you're struggling to imagine how a game would look with this, imagine it being more like a traffic dodging game. So you're a car from a top-down view and there's other cars coming from above. That would make more sense in this aspect ratio. Mine doesn't make sense in this aspect ratio, but it's a good example of how you guys can now do it. So in the next video, we're just going to look at a couple of other potential changes we can add, but we're not far off finished. So catch you guys in the next video.